Transmissions detected.
Kill them all.
I understand. Where does all this come from? How do you get funding for something like this? Well, you don't actually think they spend $20,000 on a hammer, $30,000 on a toilet seat, do you?
Hello my friends. Today I document the endless amount of money and resources that are wasted every day, being paid for by the citizens of probably every single country. And it's just for old men to play who's got the coolest underground bases with each other. Who's got the coolest layers. And I thought they'd calm down a little bit, but no. In a previous video I touched on these underground tunnel systems. The bases, the areas that just are off limits. They're located in every city and every part of the world. We find both modern and ancient tunnels. I noticed that in most of the old pics of these railroads and stuff, doesn't it look like that place has been there for a very long time already? Is that a water line right there? The black? Just wonder. Most of these areas under the cities are accessed through a building or a business above it. And it gives you the example of the Rockefeller Center. Why would you give me that example? It's always these huge buildings though. It's funny how the old ones especially in every city, but there's an entire level that lies below, and very few people realize that, and it's probably under your feet too. They say because it flooded a long time ago, or they just had to raise the street. You've heard the stories, like in France. Amazingly, they were able to raise the entire city. Some of this stuff got jacked up in the 1700s with no power. Amazing, right? Doesn't the old world stick out? Check out that's New York Station. Underneath the ground. They don't use it anymore, but yep. Anything that has that finesse that we know too well didn't come from these clowns. Do you think that they could just make a tunnel real pretty, put a few extra bricks in, make something look nice and pleasant to the eyes? Of course you can do that. It'll raise your vibration, but they know better than that, so they don't do it. That's why it's all made out of the same color brick and just ugly as they could make it. It's said that some of these tunnels under the cities are connected to residential homes for access. How do you get access in your house? Others have claimed that they found entrances in abandoned warehouses, pubs, nightclubs, and some of them lead either to their own hidden entrances or they continue to another area altogether, many miles away. We have mapped thousands of these places in every city, every nation, every country, with thousands of miles of tunnels, railways, and I don't know, openings, crevices, caves, whatever you want to call them, under it all. Now the 1800s in the underground. This is the Underground Railroad, 1836 in America. Why is everyone partying together in the rail cars, screaming, hollering, having a good old time? Yeah, that's weird. There's a quite extensive network of ancient and modern tunnels and cities underground. And to the average person, they're amazed when they find out that their home's above one of them. They're not some rare occurrence or just located in certain places either. They're publicly documented all over the world. You can even get maps to them in places like Africa, Iran, Japan, Jordan, Singapore, South Korea, Taiwan, Turkey, Australia, Europe, Croatia, Finland, France, Germany, Greece, Italy, Netherlands, Poland, Russia, Spain, Sweden, Switzerland, Ukraine, United Kingdom, Canada, America, including Hawaii and Alaska, all of Mexico, Argentina, and Chile. Jeez. That's the whole world, basically. Okay. Now look at Ukraine here. What is going on with the concrete to steel? It looks pretty ancient to me. Don't know. Old portions of big cities are not supposed to be underground, though. You would never build that way. We don't dig holes and put buildings in them. There was a reason in the past for this to be. Either they were once above the ground and something buried their foundations and floors and we just forgot about it, or these buildings were placed on top of the other buildings. No one knew anything about it, but that's BS. How could we not know that? As for the tunnels and the railways, It can't be explained. It can, but it can't, sort of. The cave systems and the bunkers, the cities that are off limits to the public, both new and old, by the way. What's the purpose of the secrecy? What's the reasoning for such an outrageous amount of space, an outrageous amount of money and resources? Are y'all moving in? And where's the real news people at? Report this to the world, because no, it's not shady in the least, right? Oh my God. In America, our government's stockpiling goods inside of all their bunkers. They've made dozens of these cities since God knows when, since the 1700s, since the 1500s when they showed up and stole it all. And they're all over America. Under our feet, we waste billions of dollars for old grandpa and grandma in our government to play hide and seek and play D&D and just have a good old hooting time. It's invitation only statuses, to go see their graven images and all the things we're not allowed to partake in, all their games. They're weird people. Now, can you believe that NASA is the number one most outspoken and largest supporter of the claims that we need these bunkers for an emergency? This is their budget. Look at that. $30 billion. You know how they're all about Earth's destruction. It's always something coming. Asteroid impact, something's heading our way. Some sort of imminent doom that never happens. We just keep paying for them to do this to us. And at some point they claim that, get this, the sun's going to bombard the planet with solar radiation, killing 99% of all life on Earth. I keep in mind that these are the same dudes filming bubbles in space, so I take what they say with a grain of salt. But $30 billion. Look at the DoD, the Department of Defense in America. They're who takes care of the underground areas because, that's for defense. It's for our own. It's for our own sake. It's for our own safety. We're doing this for your safety. The fact that we in America are not the only country stockpiling food and supplies isn't odd. Everyone's doing it. It's necessary. We do that. We've been doing it forever. But the amount of money that's being wasted on renovating old tunnels, renovating underground cities, building new tunnels, building new cities, for whatever reason it may be, it doesn't matter. Number one, you're doing that with money. It's basically stolen money. Makes it illegal as shit, but strange to say the least. But is anyone going to ask what's going on? It's been a major uptick in all this. Ever since we had that little stuff go on and Klaus got mad at the WEF. Y'all remember that when Klaus was pissed off because no one was complying years ago? He was like, they're fighting against us. You would not believe how grand they're going. This is no shoddy places or tunnels. Look at that. That is 100 feet tall. I mean, if you build something 3 or 4 times bigger than it needs to be, that's costs 3 or 4 times more money. It makes it all very unstable. But what's the deal with having such huge ceilings? Expecting somebody? Yeah. Now, if you look into this any at all, you're going to see no one has a leash. No one is restrained, and money is not an option whatsoever. My point today was to document that shows unlimited all-access budgets. The ones we see posted as public information, it's just a joke. That's a facade. It means nothing. Those numbers mean nothing. We in America have over $50 billion a year that we know about in unaccounted black budgets, and nobody gives a shit. You know how illegal that is? It seems like they're all friends, though, because, well, these places are extremely expensive. The government's funded by each citizen. These people work for us, but nobody cares. If a citizen was to wander onto one of these bases or tunnels without permission, you realize you could pay with your life? Is that okay to do? I mean, is it okay to have bases where it has, things posted? If you enter in these property, we're going to shoot and kill you. Now, you're not supposed to be there in the first place with stolen money doing black budget things anyway. So if you were to take someone's life, I believe that you'd be a criminal. Now our elected officials are obviously in on it. As much as I love old Grandpa Joe and old Trump and everybody, as much as everybody makes me laugh and I love to see the clown show at its best, my favorite congressman, governor, and mayor, they all are in on it. They know. The joke's on us. You see, they have no idea who the Most High is. And I find it absolutely hilarious that the fear of death shakes their souls. Think about that. How messed up in the head would you be if you were this scared? Y'all, it's madness if it's being done for no apparent reason. And I want you to understand what I'm trying to say here. It's insane. If they're building these things and there's no reason for it but just some whim, do you know how many people could be fed and clothed and everything? You see, we really, really don't give a shit about no one. The people who are in power, they do not care if someone doesn't eat, if someone doesn't have a place to lay their head, if they have no way to defend themselves, no way for medicines, for anything. Like the woman and the widow and the child, they don't care about them. Because if you take trillions of dollars from every single solitary country and you put it up in the air and show all the madness they're built, all the things to kill somebody with, all the crazy that they're building every day, they have certain things, y'all, that has to be cycled out, okay? They can't keep water forever. They have to cycle it out. They can't keep food forever. They cycle it out. You see, fuel, they cycle that out. Every time they make a cycle and they have to go through and replace all the diesel fuel, it's billions of dollars a year, and they throw it away. Every time they go in and check all the food and they take all the food off, and they have to do this every year. When you take all the food that's come up, old, and it's not really old too, by the way, it's close, they throw it all away and they put new one in. It doesn't matter. The money they spend, we are expendable. Our money is just, dust in the wind, right? They don't care. They literally do not care. They hide like children, right? And they've obviously done this many times before. They even, a long time ago, look at that, they put stones up to roll over into it so to hide them. I'm telling you, I always think of that, over the mountains and everything to fall on us, to hide us from the face of the Most High. I'm telling you, that's what they're doing. And I'm only raising awareness about this. Just a little documenting about the show and its last stand they seem to be having here. Because it pretty much seems like, it's either all or nothing right now, y'all. Is it going on in your country too? Let me know. And I don't want to give them too much on this subject. They're underground. It's a fact. They're being fully stocked. It's a fact. Fully staffed. That's a fact. And yes, it's in the mountains, through tunnels, under your cities, in deep bases, all over the place. The ancient rails are being repurposed. New structures and tunnels are being built at a staggering rate. Screw those guys. When are they leaving anyway, right? Oh, me. Now, don't be feeling down, my friend. It's all just a game. Be wise and don't be troubled by what you see in the heavens like a barbarian would. Because there's no global killers waiting in the cosmos for their day to strike. There's no aliens but just the clowns that's always been here. And there's no space because you live on a flat earth. And the comets, they're not what you've been told. It's just a big old show. And that's all I got to say about that. I love you all. I'm Wild Dog. I am out of here.
This is how I show my love. I'm painted in my mind because I'm blaming on my ADD, baby. This is how an angel does. I'm blaming on my own supply. Blaming on my ADD, baby. Sorry.